In life,
வாழ்க்கையில எப்பயுமே
always
ஒண்ணு
remember
மட்டும்
one
ஞாபகம்
thing.
வைத்துக் கொள்ளணும்.
What happens naturally, what comes to you naturally, is exceedingly rare. True meditation that arises on its own is rare. A meditation that happens effortlessly is rare. To naturally enter a spiritual journey is rare. And for that journey to continue without obstruction on its own is rarer still. No matter how deep the poverty, no matter how difficult the challenges, a person must never lose their integrity or walk toward the wrong path. If a person becomes consumed by attachment to food, lust, appearance, money, or power, then meditation becomes difficult. To receive meditation from within, to sustain it, to grow through it, and to journey with it, all of this becomes very hard. Because the very reason many of us turn toward meditation is that at some point we could no longer bear the way we were living. There was a time in my life when I felt ashamed of my own existence. I questioned everything. What kind of life is this? What kind of human condition is this? What kind of way of living is this? Then meditation entered my life, and something began to change. Later, people from distant countries, Australia, France, Singapore, Malaysia, Germany, listened to these words, felt an inner connection, and reached out asking, "Can we travel with you on this path?" When that happens, I do not feel that I have achieved something great. Instead, I reflect on this. How did I once live, and what has my life now transformed into? The true reason for that transformation was the internal change of state that occurred within this body through the influence of that higher current, that unseen wind. I am an ordinary human being filled with many desires. But how does an unseen force transform such a person? How does it completely reshape one's thoughts and inner life? Many students, many meditators, and many people living in spiritual communities still remain deeply attached to desire. That is why transformation becomes difficult. If you ask me what I have truly achieved in my life, my answer is simple. I became free from desire. That is the treasure I received. Freedom from desire. That is what transformed my life. To cling possessively to relationships, children, status, followers, influence, or achievements, the mind becomes trapped in these things and finds it difficult to break free. True liberation cannot be forced. It must happen naturally. Every day and every hour of my journey feels like a wonder. My life itself feels astonishing. The transformations occurring within this body, the inner shifts passing through me, all of it feels extraordinary. Most people cannot truly understand the depth of transformation happening within another human being. Every human being moves through many inner seasons: childhood, youth, maturity, old age. Life continuously changes through these stages. And when a person's way of living transforms deeply enough, a new awakening begins within them. A new life emerges. A new evolution rises from within. When such an inner shift truly happens, it becomes a great transformation of consciousness itself. I transmit certain truths, energies, words, and inner frequencies into your life. Not so that you remain dependent on me, but so that your life itself may undergo transformation. Because beyond wealth, there is another dimension of living. Beyond relationships, there is another dimension of living. Beyond worldly identity, there is another dimension of living. And beyond birth and death themselves, there exists a greater state of being.